I'm joined by Robin from Ronimo Games, and we're having a look at Swords and Soldiers 2. And I'm going to play very badly. It's my first time, and Robin's going to tell us all about it.
I'll walk you through it.
Okay.
All right, so this is our world map. Just like in the original game, you're still playing with Redbeard Viking. And he's living very happily in Viking land. He's still fighting with Blackbeard because that's just what they do. They're nemesis, then that never really dies. And this mission picks up right after Redbeard recovers his wife from being kidnapped by Blackbeard, because that's still what he does. And he wants some sweet revenge, so let's get to it. The new game also has 3 races, so we still have the Vikings.
Okay.
One of the others is the demons, and the third one is a secret.
Okay.
Which we'll be revealing eventually, but not today.
You've changed the visual style quite a lot.
Yeah.
So obviously you've had the HD remake done by 2 tribes.
Yeah.
But you've gone for a different look this time.
Yeah, the visuals from the original game were actually from... Well, we worked on the game released back in 2009.
Right.
And as a studio, we have grown a lot since then.
Yeah.
And also, because games are in HD now, it just gives us a lot more opportunity to make really, really cool stuff. I think that the original game had its charm, but the new game looks so much better. This circle is for all your units. So whenever you research a new unit, he'll pop up there. And the right circle is actually for spells. So if you, like for instance, research the Berserker, which is one of the units that's back from the original game.
Okay. I'll set the Axe Thrower going as well.
Yeah, that's still a very good combo. So now they're there, and you can just build them if you want.
Okay.
You can probably already pick up the gold, which brings in a lot.
Right.
Yeah, now she'll go and pick it up.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
So this is a pretty easy pickup, but as the game progresses, you'll come across some pickups that are further afield.
Yeah. And
then it becomes a lot more dangerous to go and pick it up, because she'll be away for a longer time, but you might also run into some opponents. And even though she's not very slow, she'll probably still die.
Right. Will this game still have the pointer controls that people are familiar with if they want, with the Wii Remote?
Well, obviously you can control with the Wiimote. It will work with the Pro Controller, and you can play it on the Wii Pad with either the stick controls, or you can have the entire touch thing.
Okay.
Actually, when you play a skirmish mode against a friend, one of you is playing on a TV, whichever control scheme works best for him.
Yeah.
And the other is actually just working on this. So you'll be playing the entire match on the gamepad.
So how long has this one been in development? Has it been quite a long-term project?
I think we've been in production for almost pretty much about 2 years now. The number of people working on it varies, because we're also working on Astronauts.
Yeah.
But I think in total probably about 2 years. And the original ideas for the new game, I think we did that in 2011.
Okay.
So the ideas have been in the work for a long time.
Gradually.
So lightning is also one of the spells that's back from the original game.
Yeah.
But in general, a lot of, even for the Viking faction, a lot has been replaced or new stuff has been added. And even the balance between units. So the X-Throwers, these little guys, are now a lot more squishy than they were in the original game, but they also do a lot more damage. And these guys, they deal less damage than they did before, but they're now more of a tank. Actually, you can use lightning to just kill this guy in a single hit.
Okay. Yeah, because he was doing me some grief, it must be said. this going to be another fairly long game? Because the original was was it about an hour per campaign? I'm trying to recall how.
If you were really good, you could have done it in an hour per campaign, I guess.
It probably took me longer.
I know it took me a lot longer than that. But right now, we're just making one campaign, so it's no longer really separated in three. The campaign is not really separated in three factions.
Yeah.
And it's just one overarching story. But we don't want it to be finished in 3 hours.
Okay.
Maybe if you're super good, you might make it. But that's really not how we want you to play the game.
Okay. Is this a game that is a timed exclusive on Wii U, or is it?
No, we're just making it for Wii U.
Okay.
So yeah.
I think I've done almost everything.
Yeah, well, there's 2 units at the bottom you can still research. This is actually also a new type of unit.
Okay.
Every faction in the game has a super unit that also has an active ability. And the Viking one is a very strong unit called Helga. She's the sister of Olga, which is like the gold workers. And she has a hammer that she throws, and that deals a lot of damage. But she can also sing, and she sings terribly. But it will heal your units and it'll make them attack faster. And every group in the game has their own super unit.
Okay.
And you all got this.
Getting there slowly.
I can see you played the original.
Yeah, I still feel like I'm doing a relatively poor job, but yeah.
It's not that bad.
Is this the way you envisage a lot of people playing with the gamepad and using the triggers, or do you think a lot will opt for the touchscreen?
I personally really like the touchpad.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's also because you have the entire game on the gamepad.
Yeah.
It's also just a nice way to play. You can have the full experience without a TV, to be honest. But it really depends on the player. Right now, the trigger interface works a little bit better because it's a little smoother.
Yeah.
But the touch thing is something that we really just want to get right. We don't want to have it like it also has touch, but we just run it to be really good.
Yeah.
So you just finished the first mission in our demo. And there's another one which has you facing off against the demons. And usually this is like a world map, and there are normally a lot more missions over here. And as you progress, the clouds will dissipate and new paths open up and new lands to visit and stuff like that.
Is this a game, because obviously the original had some DLC and extras thrown in, is that something you're thinking of doing with this?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Maybe. We don't really have plans for DLC or anything.
Yeah.
We really want to make this just a solid game.
Yeah.
So there's no DLC being planned or anything.
Is this quite far along? Do you have a release window for this?
We were aiming for a release late this year, like around the holiday season. But that really depends on like the final stage of polish, how well everything goes, how long it takes to iron out all the bugs. So it might be early next year, but right now it's looking pretty good for this year. So now you have 2 different types of units. You have the Clubman, which is like he's kind of like a berserker, but he deals damage to multiple units.
Right.
And he stuns, I think. And this guy is a meat thrower, and he'll heal your units.
Have you set a 6 unit limit now on the gold?
Yeah.
Instead of 9, I think it was?
I think it used to be 10, but in the original game you had a second gold line.
Yeah.
So there was a cap of 5 units per gold mine, and you had 2 gold mines. And the cap is pretty much the same this time. The 5th and 6th worker are not that efficient because they have to wait a little while at the entrance.
Yeah.
But having the 6th worker is really good if you want to send them off to pick up stuff.
I see I've got the sheep rider. And the sheep.
This is a polymorph spell, so you can turn people into sheep. You can't actually ride them. But I'm pretty sure that if you sheep people and then zap them with lightning, kebab will drop, which will heal your units. But I'm not really sure. I know that we've been playing around with that at the office, but I'm not sure if that's in this build. You can try. You can zap them. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Suppose I should get some people on the go. It almost looks like a cartoon this time in terms of the style, rather than looks less like a game, more like a cartoon, if that makes any sense at all. Is that something you're going for, or what sort of drove this style?
Well, maybe cartooniness has always been our style.
Yeah.
And yeah, but we also learned a lot with the development of Astronauts, and that has like a really, really cartoony look.
Yeah.
So maybe that carried over to this game. But all in all, I think for the biggest part, we've just learned a lot from working on Astronauts. And, we just really grew as a studio, and now, well, our artists are a lot better, our designers are a lot better, our tech is a lot better, and zap him. That's a pretty strong army.
My tactic in these games is always just to spend every bit of gold I have.
Well, that works.
Not very tactical, but...
Well, that's probably one of the reasons why it's going so well, because a lot of people who play this, they just build some units, and then they watch them, and then they get countered, and they realize, hey, wait, I haven't built anything for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they lose.
Can I turn him into a sheep?
Nope, I'm afraid not. But he's the demon super unit. Like your hammer throwing lady in the previous mission, he's super slow, but he's super tough. And he can probably one-shot most of those guys. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I think I'm in trouble.
So this is like the game-changing Viking spell.
Okay.
In the original game, they had Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
But here is Old Larry, and he goes into a drunken rage and runs across the battlefield. And every time you press A, he'll do an uppercut. And if you hit demons, you can just keep him in the air if you just keep uppercutting.
Okay, I'll try.
So you should try and hit him back. Nice. Keep him in the air. Oh, he's actually dead. Nicely done.
Okay. So that's the twist on the sort of berserker move, and just generally.
Yeah, and
oh, that was a waste.
Oh. You might still be in trouble. We got a pretty strong heal train going on. Aw.
It's a bit cruel. So I suppose again, it's real-time strategy, but it's quite accessible in that you don't need to be a buff in the genre to really get on with this.
Yeah, you don't really need like the insane amount of clicks per minute to be okay at this game. It's easy, you know, it eliminates a lot of the stuff that's inherently complex about strategy games, like the microing of where units go and just being everywhere at once, and the 2D makes that a lot easier. And your units just walk automatically, which helps a lot. And it helps you focus on stuff that's a lot more fun, like casting lightning at the right time or at the right unit. Or like the guys running on the barrels, just making sure they don't get to your units. And if you play skirmish against another player, that's also the stuff that becomes a lot of fun. Just, you know, really timing those lightning strikes right, getting your snowstorms right at the right group, and that's still hard to get right. So it's not easy to play the game, but it's a lot easier to pick up.